Yo, what's going on, you guys? Today we have North England's Lake District in Durham. I've been watching his videos for a minute now, and I love how he actually go to the historical places. He's not only showing you the places, he actually going there and make sure you see the insides of them and stuff like that. So that's why I love watching his videos. So we're gonna continue to watch his videos. And if there's any other videos you guys would like me to react to, put it in the comments, man. I would love to react to them. Without further ado, man, we're gonna straight to the video. Come on.
I'm Rick Steves, back with more of the best of Europe. This time, we're getting to know the locals like never before. We're in the north of England. Thanks for joining us.
Wow, that's the land.
Northern England is a lush land steeped in a rich brew of history, culture, and...
I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm already seeing all the greenery, dog. That's one thing about England. One thing about the UK, man. You guys have the greenery. You guys have the nature. You guys have the history. You guys have everything, bro. Just have it. Not even a minute into the video, man. You already seen the greenery. Crazy.
Traveling here, I'm struck by how man and nature seem to coexist in harmony, and how richly rewarding a visit can be. We'll hike along an ancient Roman wall, play a little cricket, and be dazzled in a Norman cathedral. We'll meet the locals and their beloved dogs and sheep everywhere. Donning hard hats, we'll tour an old slate mine. And of course, we'll enjoy the countless hikes. Admiring lakes, discovering waterfalls, and conquering stony summits. Great Britain is dominated by England. In the north of England, we'll visit Durham, Hadrian's Wall, and the Cumbrian Lake District. We'll focus on the less touristy northern lakes, home basing in Keswick. The Cumbrian Lake District, just 30 miles by 30 miles, is England's green, pristine mountain playground. While not impressive in sheer height, England's highest peak is just 3,200 feet. It's long been a powerful magnet for nature lovers. The charm of this area is, in part, the range of experiences it provides. Stumble upon a...
Come on. You know, y'all know the drill, man. We're watching these videos, man. Let's take a minute to just take this in, man. Come on, dog. Let's analyze this real quick, bro. Look at the mountain, right? You see how, look at this mountain right here. Then you have these beautiful greenery. Oh, man. And the water, bro. Wow, it just looks so peaceful. We got the green trees, everything. Everything's just so green, bro. Nah, this is beautiful. Wow. This is natural beauty right here, man.
View. Then climb over a rock fence to look into the eyes of a ragamuffin sheep. Find the perfect farmhouse B&B. Then enjoy this packhorse bridge. And for a memorable lunch, summit your own private peak for a picnic.
That just looks so peaceful, man.
This region gives even tenderfeet a chance to feel rugged and outdoorsy. Here in the Lake District, William Wordsworth's poems still ripple on the ponds. This is a land where nature rules and humanity keeps a low profile. For 2 centuries, this region has inspired visitors to relax, recharge, get some exercise, and maybe even write a poem. The Lake District...
That's what I always say, man. Every time I watch this video, I'll be like, man, it's just so relaxing, you know? It's so relaxing, as in... You can just sit near the mountain, sit near that beautiful natural beauty, and just read a book or just enjoy nature, or just just relax, you know. And it's just so peaceful, man. That's the feeling I'm getting when I watch these videos, especially the UK, man. It's like England, the UK as a whole. You feel me? It's beautiful, man. Like I always say, man. I hope you guys actually go out there and experience these places, and you know, and don't take them for granted, you know, because natural beauty is just something else.
For good reason, it rains a lot. Experienced English hikers dress smart and don't let blustery weather keep them in. It can be rainy one moment and then suddenly gorgeous. As locals love to say, there is no bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. The town of Keswick is your best home base for exploring the northern lakes, which I prefer to the more commercial southern part of the region. Keswick was originally a mining center, but the slate and lead industries eventually gave way to nature-loving tourists, and in the 19th century, Keswick became a resort. Its fine old buildings recall those romantic-era days when big city folks first learned about communing with nature. Today, the town is well-stocked with hiking gear shops and pubs. The Lake District is popular with English holidaymakers who prefer to bring their beloved dogs with them on vacation. Keswick's town square can look like a canine convention, and in local pubs, dogs are more than welcome.
That's interesting though. I didn't know you could bring your animal, your dog, your pet into like a pub. Cause when I think of a pub, and tell me if I'm wrong, I usually think of like a bar or a restaurant. Cause here, I mean, I don't see that at all. Go to a restaurant or go to a pub. When I say pub, go to a bar, and you see somebody has their pet. That's not likely. I don't think I've seen that.
Picked up a tip at the pub. A sheepdog trial and hound show is on today, and it's just down the valley. Farm culture is still alive and well in these fertile hills. From gritty shepherds to gentleman farmers to curious tourists, there's something for everyone. While lots of fun and plenty entertaining, competitions like these have practical roots. They go back to a time when agility and hunting instincts made a hound truly man's best friend. According to the program, a good fell foxhound must have good shoulders, long neck, level back, and agile hind legs to jump those stone walls. The scene itself offers a fascinating glimpse into this culture. From shepherd's crooks to tailgate party dog talk. And the main event, as explained to us by a local aficionado, is the shepherd and his dog bringing in the sheep as quickly as possible.
The shepherd goes out, he's given a given position where he stands at the post, and he has to direct his dog out on the right or the left, immaterial. Dogs, you can work them half a mile away. They'll pick the sound up, they will hear you, and they can work them half a mile away, collecting sheep, putting them together, bring them into a flock, bring them as near in a straight line as possible down the course, through the hurdles there, back to the pen, hopefully nice pen, straight in, no breaks, and the applause.
Wow, that is actually very, very impressive. That's crazy. Nah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I don't even learn.
Working a border collie, it's like marriage. It's got to click. You must have confidence in one another. The dog will have confidence in you if you've got confidence in him. It's as beautiful as that, and it's lovely to work with.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Keswick has plenty of...
Every time I watch these videos, man, I learn something new. Every single time. I never knew that. That's crazy.
Good B&Bs. We're staying at Held, which has the polished feel of a boutique hotel, but offers all the warmth and friendliness of a B&B. Its contemporary rooms are tastefully furnished in native woods and slate. Its breakfast is first class. I'm getting the traditional Cumbrian fry, complete with local sausage. And the lounge offers a cozy and enjoyable place to relax and prepare for your day's activities. Good B&B hosts loan maps and offer plenty of hiking advice.
That's lovely, Wolf.
Just down the street is Keswick's Petite Marina, where we're combining a short cruise with my favorite Lake District hike up a dramatic nearby ridge. Derwentwater is one of Cumbria's most photographed and popular lakes. Boats circle the lake, picking up and dropping off walkers at peaceful landings all along the way. From the dock, a trail leads up along a ridge called Cat Bells. The steep climb both burns off that Cumbrian fried breakfast and offers some commanding views. Vigorous hikes like this are
Sorry, I wasn't gonna go back, but man, how can you beat that? What other view can you possibly get that's gonna be better than this right here? I'll wait. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Dog, this is beautiful, dog. This is beautiful. Like I said, man, please go out and actually enjoy these views.
For some commanding views. Vigorous hikes like this are one of many reasons the Lake District is such a hit with English holiday goers. This little adventure takes just a couple of hours, and it rewards anyone who tackles it with a trip highlight. Get out and make these experiences happen. For the rest of your life, you'll remember, in this case, scaling Cat Bells with its thrilling King of the Mountain climax. After our descent, we catch the boat at the next landing and finish our relaxing cruise around Derwentwater. So they say this is good, right? Yeah. The Pheasant Inn is a Keswick favorite, and David and Val, who run our B&B, are joining us for dinner. As anywhere in Britain, a good pub comes with charming conviviality. Kids are welcome, and once again, in Cumbrian pubs, man's best friend is perfectly welcome too. The menu offers Lake District pub classics. David's having trout, and I'm going for the rump of lamb.
My image of pub grub in the old days was pretty bad.
No, pubs are taking a lot more interest in food now. They're not just the drinking destinations. They're having to sell food in order to attract people in.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. I never thought like pubs serve food. I always thought it was more like, you go there, grab a drink, talk to some people, and go about your day. But I mean, now it looks like, from what I've seen in other videos also, they actually serve food.
That's been a great improvement over recent years since the smoking ban came in, and it's much more pleasant to eat now.
Wow.
A short drive south from Keswick takes us through the very countryside that inspired England's great romantic poets. The greatest of those was William Wordsworth, who lived here in Dove Cottage. Wordsworth spent his most productive years, 1799 to 1808, in this humble stone house. This is where he married, had kids, and wrote much of his best poetry. In these cramped and simple quarters, Wordsworth practiced his philosophy of plain living and high thinking. The adjacent museum displays original writings, sketches, and personal items that give another peek into the life and world of the poet. His well-stamped passport and his well-worn little suitcase are proof he packed light and traveled far and wide. Notebook in hand, he wandered across England and through Europe on what would become the romantic Grand Tour. Until then, almost nobody climbed a mountain just because it was there, but Wordsworth did. He'd wander, lonely as a cloud, through the countryside, finding inspiration lost in the awe-inspiring immensity of nature. If appreciating nature became a religion in 19th century England, Wordsworth was its prophet.
Hey man, I don't think there's anything that will give you clarity more than nature. There's nothing that will give you like a sound mind more than nature, man. You just go out there and just relax, enjoy, take the beauty in, enjoy the beautiful nature. Then you're good to go, man. You need inspiration? Nature.
With the advent of the industrial age, machines were taming nature and factory hours were taming free spirits. The Romantic movement, led by artists and writers like Wordsworth, was a reaction against this. Romanticism celebrated nature, making it almost a religion. People came here as if on a pilgrimage, and like the poets, after communing with nature, they'd be inspired and reflect on the meaning of life. While Wordsworth would likely be appalled at the speedy convenience of it all, drivers can enjoy car touring. From Keswick, A scenic 20-mile loop south reveals the essence of Lake District charms. Newlands Valley is a majestic place. If it had a lake, it would be packed with tourists. But it doesn't, and it isn't. The valley is dotted with old, family-run farms. With tough times for small farms, most of the wives supplement the family income by running B&Bs. Many farms in the valley rent rooms. I've been recommending the Cascadale Farm in my Britain guidebook now for over 20 years. Margaret Harriman's welcome is as warm as ever. And staying in her B&B, there's no doubt you really are on a working farm. Their son, Sean, will someday run the farm. One thing he's already in charge of is shearing the sheep. Each of their 1,500 sheep need to be sheared each summer.
1,500?
Why do you have to shear the sheep?
Well, for husbandry reasons and the welfare of a sheep. And then they're sheared when it's warm weather, so it's a great relief for a sheep once it gets sheared.
But the fleeces are no longer the moneymaker they once were. In fact, recently, prices were so low, farmers here just burned the wool. Today, with new uses for this natural fiber, wool prices are higher, so Sean and his dad collect the fleeces into bales.
Wait, why wasn't the prices higher at that time? And that he had to burn them? Tell me in the comments if you know, please.
Does it hurt the sheep?
No. It can be very therapeutic. It just glides by the skin, so it doesn't hurt them at all. Therapeutic?
When car touring, make a point to stop and get out. From the Newlands Pass summit, there's a rewarding little walk to a frisky waterfall.
I don't know if y'all is paying attention. For me, everywhere that he has been so far, every single place, just beautiful scenery, bro. Every single place that he stopped so far, beautiful nature, beautiful scenery, all that greenery, bro. To me, it's like, bro, the whole country is just so green and beautiful, dog. You guys are lucky for real.
From here, the road descends, winding scenically past a farm hamlet and to delightful Buttermere with its popular lakeside trail. Our loop then climbs rugged Honister Pass with its wild and weather-beaten charm. At the summit stands the Honister Slate Mine. England's last still-functioning slate mine offers tours. You'll put on a hard hat, load onto a bus for a short climb, and then learn about the region's slate industry from an enthusiastic guide.
What we describe that rock as is green gold. It's called green gold because it represents today the finest roofing slate in the world. It is the number one, the Rolls Royce of slate. On that rock, on the far side, as we looked when we were down below, there are botties, little stone huts where the miners used to live. Because what we have to remember here is pre-First World War, through the history of mining, if you worked here, you lived here. Right, in we go. This way, folks.
Narrow shafts lead deep into the evocative Victorian mine. You'll be thankful for your helmet. Standing inside the mountain, surrounded by slate scrap and the beams of a dozen headlamps, you'll learn the backstory of the stone that roofs so much of England.
Imagine you're 8, 10 years old, working underground, maybe for 10, 14 hours a day, and your job was to assist your father and your elder brothers in drilling the rock. I think you're going to get a hang of this one very quickly, folks, because you can imagine there's someone at this end with a large sledgehammer. And each time you hit it, turn it, twist it, push it. Hit, turn it, push it, back into the rock.
I don't know about you, but a tour like that makes me glad I work and live above ground and in the 21st century. Completing our loop, we pass humble hamlets and the lush Burrowdale Valley, always open for serendipity. Coming upon an inviting gathering, we pull over and find ourselves at a cricket match, complete with Cumbrian sausage on the grill and a keg of local brew. The gang gathered here bragged their field was named England's most beautiful cricket pitch, and I can see why.
It is beautiful.
But when you hit the ball, do you like run around the bases or what do you do?
No, you just run either end.
And this gave me yet another chance to try to understand this bewildering national pastime. So the pitcher is called a bowler.
Yeah, he is.
Or your bowler, our pitcher is your bowler. And what do you call your batter?
The batter.
All right.
I've been seeing people play cricket here, and I never understand it. I really don't understand cricket at all. Maybe it's something I'll take the time to actually, watch and maybe try to understand it. But as of right now, I don't understand it, man.
No. Is that a point?
That's a 4. 4 runs. If he hits it over the boundary, which is the white line in front of us here, he gets 4.
I'm still confused. But I'm less confused than I was a few minutes ago.
Right. Well, if anybody confused anybody, I can.
Well, you're doing a good job. These valleys have sustained communities here for longer than you might imagine. Just outside of Keswick stands the Castlerigg Stone Circle. Like a mini Stonehenge drenched in Lake District beauty, it was built over 4,000 years ago to function as a celestial calendar. Imagine ancient people filling this clearing in spring to celebrate fertility, in late summer for the harvest, and in winter for the solstice. Festival dates were dictated by how the sun rose and set in relation to these stones, which were aligned with the surrounding peaks. For maximum goose pimples, as they say in England, be here after everyone's left and the mystical place is all yours. Leaving the Lake District, we drive east for more highlights of North England. The road parallels my favorite ancient Roman site in all of Britain. Hadrian's Wall was built by the Romans during the reign of Emperor Hadrian, nearly 2,000 years ago. This is one of England's most thought-provoking sights, and much loved by hikers. This great stone wall stretched 73 miles from coast to coast across the narrowest part of northern England. This was more than just a wall. It was a cleverly designed military rampart manned by 20,000 troops. At every mile along the wall, a small fort guarded a gate. Its actual purpose is still debated. The wall, which often takes advantage of natural contours in the land, likely defined the northern edge of the empire and helped defend Roman Britain to the south from pesky, hard-to-conquer barbarians to the north. Today's modern border between Scotland and England still runs pretty close to this ancient wall. A particularly well-preserved segment of the wall leads to Houstead's Roman Fort. Roman forts had a standard design, a rectangular shape containing a commander's headquarters and barracks. There's little more than stone foundations remaining. These stones raised a floor to give stored grain ventilation. And this was once a set of Spartan barracks. Pondering these desolate ruins, I can imagine the bleakness of being a young Roman soldier stationed here 18 centuries ago.
Wow.
Driving further east, we reach the city of Durham. With its famous cathedral, built by the Normans, it adds yet another layer to this region's history.
See, I didn't realize one thing I did not see is castles. I'm sure they have castles, but he didn't show any from the other spots. Usually, every town or every city that he went to, there's always a castle somewhere. But see, I didn't see one. That's crazy.
Empire was falling in the 5th century. The Romans abandoned Britain to the barbarians. After centuries of relative chaos, a central government was re-established by the Normans who invaded from France in 1066. Along with stability and a capable rule, the Normans brought with them the prevailing European style of architecture, Romanesque.
Okay.
Here in England, they named it for the people who brought it, Norman. Before visiting the church and learning about Norman architecture, we'll get the lay of the land. A sharp bend in its river protected medieval Durham, providing a moat on 3 sides. Today, the river seems to protect the city only from the modern world. From this riverside path, much enjoyed by residents for a peaceful little getaway, we can ponder the cathedral as approaching medieval pilgrims once did. The tangle of streets leading up to the cathedral, while retaining its medieval atmosphere, is lively. The city hosts the country's third oldest university. Along with the student vibe, Durham also feels blue-collar because of its historic connection with the mining industry. For nearly 1,000 years, pilgrims have set their sights on this, the Durham Cathedral, standing like a mighty fortress. Built around the year 1100 to house the much venerated bones of the great missionary monk St. Cuthbert, it offers perhaps England's best and purest look at Norman architecture.
Question. Oh, this is a question I always had. When it comes to religions in the UK or England specifically, which religion is the most common? Like, you know, what religion is most practiced when in England? For example, because the reason I ask, I see a lot of cathedrals, and I see a lot of castles, a lot of churches. So it's like, let me know please in the comments, like which one is more common in England.
The architecture is...
Sorry, my guess would be Catholic. That would be my guess. But yeah, I don't know.
Harmonious because the church was completed in just 40 years and survives essentially unaltered. Round arches and zigzag decorations are textbook Norman style. Stroll down the nave to the center. Gaze up at one of the highest bell towers in Europe. When the Normans conquered the Saxons here in England back in the 11th century, they brought with them more than just their architecture. They brought a whole new order. And this mighty church, way up here in the north, was more than a place of worship and a home for St. Cuthbert's bones. It was an unambiguous political statement, both to the conquered Saxons and to the Scots further north. The Normans were here to stay. Grand medieval churches and the art that fills them are a reminder that monks like Cuthbert were the intellectual candles who helped keep scholarship flickering through the Dark Ages. Later, that knowledge strengthened the church and made wonders like the Durham Cathedral possible. While this fresco of the saint dates from the 12th century, Cuthbert died way before that, in the year 687. The cathedral displays the saint's coffin and treasures that were buried with him. This fine Saxon sash was embroidered with gold thread and silk. And this is the exquisite cross that this leader of the early Christian church in northern England wore. For a better understanding of the cathedral and its saint, we're joined by Canon Stephen Cherry. But the cathedral is called the Shrine to Cuthbert. What does that mean to you?
It's really remarkable that we have the body of the saint from so long ago in our custody here, as it were. And so what we do is, I think we kind of bond with Cuthbert's spirit. We bond with that deep sense of history and tradition that Cuthbert represented. He was a man of profound spirituality, but also very serious human struggle. Being close to St. Cuthbert means, for me, getting closer to Jesus Christ, because of understanding the way in which Jesus worked through the life of this man, albeit he lived so very many centuries ago.
For 1,000 years, pastors and priests and ministers like you have been serving the needs of this community. That must be kind of an inspiration in itself.
It's a very inspiring thing. You think of all those years, 500 years before the Reformation, when the Mass was being celebrated. Then a little hiatus, and then the post-Reformation Church. That too was saying the Mass, celebrating Holy Communion, the daily office here, every day, and we're still part of that.
When you walk through the cathedral, there's a feeling that it's vibrant and alive.
It absolutely is vibrant and alive. We're completely committed to welcoming all who come. We're entirely committed to engaging with the arts and celebrating the good things of life. That freshness of mission is integral to the life of the cathedral.
As if to stress that point, the medieval Durham Cathedral is enlivened with art from our generation and from its community. This window gives us a striking overhead view of the Last Supper. And this one celebrates the church's 1000th birthday with a sweep through local history and industry from mining to farming. I hope you've enjoyed our trip through northern England. From the pristine Lake District, along Hadrian's awe-inspiring wall, to Durham's magnificent cathedral, we've been inspired by England's fascinating past while enjoying its charming present. As we've seen here in the north of England, you don't need big cities for richly rewarding travel experiences. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rick Steves. Until next time, keep on traveling.
Wow, this was beautiful. Of course, man, you gotta know I like the greenery. I love the greenery. I love the nature. I love how every single city or town is green, and it's just beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And again, that's why I like watching his videos, because he also give you the inside scoops on the cathedrals, and we even went inside the mine places where they used to stay at, you know. So other channels wouldn't show you all that. So I like watching his videos because of that. You know, it's kind of a little history lesson why I also enjoy the nature that England has to offer. Yeah, this is the video, man. I thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much we just hit 2,000 subscribers, man. Thank you so much. We going up. The goal is we're gonna hit 10K. I can't wait for that to happen. Yeah, continue to like, continue to comment, and continue to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.